I had a piece of fabric that wasn't the color I wanted, but it had these beautiful leaves. So I cut it out and I put it on the bottom and I let this overlay. So we've got a little bit of that extra color, which adds something, a little contrast, a little difference, but we've got our leaves. And then in along here, I'll put a dark one, and then I'll put the color that I want to focus on. Now, I didn't quite get enough that was big enough because you could see there was a leaf there I cut off. So I cut some extra pieces and I just tuck it in. And that's all there is to it. So a lot of times when I make these, I'll cut two of the same size and I'll put them on top of each other like this. And when I turn it, I twist it around a little bit. We see the bottom petals and the top petals. So it's going to look much fuller. And same thing here. So I did the lights, and then I did the flower that I had, and then I did something dark. I did a very light, and then I put a yellow. But it didn't quite fill up the block enough, so I added an extra piece. Now, once I get all this together, I put a pin in it because I do not want to have to come back and try and put it back together once I get it. Even with a picture, I think it would be hard to find. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray base this because I'm going to take it apart as I go and sew it. I always put something down underneath because there will be overspray on this. And I'm just going to spray this part here in the center and put that down there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm just focusing on the center because I want that to be held in place. All right, then we're going to go to the next level, next layer, and I'm going to put some right there. Actually, we'll go this way so it lays nice and flat. And we have, see, look at that. See how well that works? Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. This is the Oda 505 spray adhesive if you haven't tried it yet. It's really awesome. Okay, so we have the red. Let me get a little more here. Right there. And this is the one where I have the double. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little here, and I'm going to put some under here, and some right there. So I get all those levels glued together, give it a good press, and come over to this side. And I'm going to put this one in. And now I'm going to take a little bit here. And you see, you just kind of work your way through. And then when you pick it up, you go to the next one because these are already glued in place. So you know right where you are. And just a little bit in the center there. And a little here. And I did put an arrow so I know which way was up. Or what I thought was going to be up. That doesn't mean that won't change. And let's see. Oh, this one, we're getting down to the middle. There and there. So this is a very easy task. And it works great. This is the easiest way I have found to do this. Let me just make sure because I don't want to lose any of my yellow bits. There we go. We got that one. And you can see where this one overlaps. So I want to get that one glued in there too. Now, I'm doing it this way because I'm going to be demonstrating it to you and things are going to be, moving everywhere. So you may not want to use this much adhesive. Remember, it does wash out. It does not change the feeling of your fabric whatsoever. And it lasts. I mean, I've done this and I picked up a quilt 2 years later and it was still adhered and everything was great. See now, look at this. I can manage it. I can pull it around. I don't have to worry about sewing it. So speaking of, let's get this sewn. I'm ready. I've got my walking foot on. I've got my gloves. I'm using my non-stick large-eyed needles. These are wonderful for quilting. And I have actually spray basted the flower, the rose, to the panel that I'm attaching it to. I'm going to begin on the outside and work my way towards the center. I'm using the walking foot because this is a lot of layers and I want everything to move nice and easily. And you notice there's a little more space on this outer petal. It's a little wider, and that's because I want to add a little extra seam allowance where I'm quilting, because that way we'll get some nice furling flowers. So let's see here. This is going to go that way. I'll go 1/2 inch from the outer edge, and I'll just start. And it's very easy. With the walking foot particularly, It just moves everything along nice and slowly and smoothly. And you can go as fast or as slow as works for you. And like I said, I'm going to get about that 1/2 inch here. And did you see what I did? I missed the outer petal. Oh my gosh. All right, well, I can come around and do that. You'll notice I'm using a variegated pink thread. And I like that because there's so many colors in the pink fabric that'll really make it blend in well. So I'm going to come in a little here. I'm going to move this one out of the way. Now, one thing that's optional is to come back after and clip these pieces because the curves do not fray as well as a straight thread. So if we come in and clip it every 1/2 inch or so without cutting the back, of course, then you're going to have a better frayed flower. So it all depends on what you like. All right, so this is where I want to go. I think what I'll do is just follow along here. And I'm going to come right up to this piece and tuck this in and just watch. And then when I'm trimming and doing my clipping, I will make sure that this edge right there is clipped well. So I want the leaf to kind of stay in place, so I'm going to sew right along the leaf. Now ordinarily, I usually make my leaves separately and add them on and just tuck them under the petal, but this was just way too easy. So let's see. I've got this, make sure I've got everything. There we are. Find the right layers. And pull this back, and then we'll be able to start. I just don't want to catch the layers of petals together. I want them to stay separate so they'll kind of furl around and look beautiful. The reason I'm sewing so close, I'm quilting so close to the leaves, is I want them stationary to the background fabric. I don't want them to be floating around. So I always start with whatever the next layer is from the bottom. And just start here. The reason I do this is going to add like a little shadow behind the petals, which I think will be real pretty. But you see how nicely I can pull this out and then it goes right back when I'm finished. That is the fun of these roses, is you can play and experiment and try different methods and see what you like best. You can choose whether or not you want to sew the whole thing around. My concern is if I don't catch this as I'm sewing it, that this piece will kind of wad up in the middle. But you'll notice I have these long ends, so that's going to catch this as I'm sewing. And I shouldn't have any problem with those loose pieces. I'm probably sewing on about 8 layers of fabric here, maybe even more, but that's it. And so this is where I've cut it. I'm just going to turn that corner over because I want the ombre pattern, the changes in the colors, to be consistent around the quilt, around this quilt block. I want them to kind of follow around and just look pretty. I think that's the best way for me to do it. As you can see, I'm coming up short. Now, I thought I'd be able to do this with, this fabric was 42 wide, and I thought I could go around both edges, but I've got like 22 inches here, so that didn't work. So what I'm going to do is take this piece. Now, here's my dilemma. What do I match it up with? So I'm going to put my needle in my fabric, turn this around. So there's a lot of dark here going up to the lighter one. So this is going to be dark going to light. Let's see, is the other one any different? And I checked both ends to see which I like better. And these are pretty much exactly the same. And so I'm just going to go with this one because we get to the lighter sooner. And we're going to join these just like we would a binding. I prefer this finish, especially on a border, because then you don't have that harsh straight line. The diagonal is a little easier. Let me get on the eye for some reason, because we don't see a stark contrast there. We just see this diagonal line, and it leads us to whatever comes next. I need to cut one more strip of the ombre, and then this is finished, and you're going to love how this looks. It is so pretty. The borders look wonderful and highlight the pinks and bring it out, but this is what I want to show you. You know those sets of toothbrushes you buy, and there's always like a gazillion of them? Save one for quilting, because then you can come in and fray your edges. So I sprayed a little water on this, but see how the edges kind of fray out a bit? It may take a few minutes, but I think it adds a lot of dimension because then the petals start curling. I did trim this one down, this pink one. It was a little too wide, and I want to go around the edges. I'll come back and do the leaves after, but this is it. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And it is going to make a great center panel for this beautiful potato chip quilt block. I'm so glad you joined me today to see this. One more video will be it, and that's going to be the end of this quilt. It is going to be so pretty. There's so many parts to it, which is why I broke it down, and I appreciate you following along and watching. And again, I hope you subscribe and like this video. Share it with some friends. Absolutely. Let others know, because this is a really fun process. Whether you're a quilter or a sewer or doing crafts who likes to make pillows, there's so much you can do with a pattern like this. And remember, it is on sale, and that's down in the description. Have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm going to go get this quilt finished, and I will probably see you in a few more days.